Good morning, sir.
Morning. I was just coughing up a storm. I feel like shit. That sickness doesn't seem to want to go away. I want to see how these candles react. I was waiting for price to come here for sells, but I think maybe it only came here on EJ. I wanted it to come here. I'm not even going to look at Euro CAD because it's too strong. Probably going to reverse. So EJ, we can see the zone here. Here we broke, and now we're in between. This is where the next zone is. Plenty of pips. Now we're making probably a draw base drop. We don't really have too much market structure. Besides we broke our structure, and then now this is where I'm waiting for price to pull back at least up into here. It's looking like a 2-1. Maybe it's gonna, because we still have 20 minutes left. 16 minutes left until the new candle opens. So I want to see what this candle ends up looking like. It looks like it's going to leave us off with just a Wick fill, maybe some liquidity, and then a drop. The US dollar, though, is really strong this morning. So trading anything with USD is probably pretty smart. CAD looks like it's gaining some more strength, too. But it doesn't look like we really tapped too many zones. Like, we didn't come down and touch this. It came into this range. But this is still extremely strong. This is going to fill the wick. The 1 hour is probably just making a new lower right here. Because now we dropped. Now we come back to where price broke. Maybe even more liquidity, and then another drop. This is the lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then this will probably be the wick that gets filled. Yeah, so as of right now, we don't have like a crazy amount of lower lows and lower highs. All we have is a big drop. So it doesn't have really nice market structure yet. But as soon as we come up into this whole range, I'm taking sells. I might wait the full 13 minutes for it to close just to be sure that we don't like launch way up here and maybe reject. We got a pool. That's too loud. So of course, this is the point where price broke, right? We broke this whole area, so this is where I anticipate a pullback before continuing down. So here's the wick to go fill. This is very strong momentum here. After just making a new lower high, it will probably continue down. This is a great setup because we haven't touched this zone yet. We got close, but we didn't actually touch this. So this is if we hold the strength, this is being in between zones. Even this like 2-1, it doesn't necessarily scare me. The thing though is that I like trading pairs more when there's an actual pair that's stronger. So I don't usually like trading if it's like the euros like this and the Japanese like that. I'd rather have one that's just taking over because then it's just kind of confirming that momentum for a quicker push just to get in and out instead of waiting all day. Nevertheless, it's still going down if it maintains. UJ might reject off this resistance and make more pullbacks. This was UJ's still going though. UJ is going to the 113.30 based off of that weekly, which we talked about yesterday. Just based off of this whole wick range here, it will come into this whole wick range. Let's see how these candles close. That's a good sign, like candles closing like that. Not even bad to short it here. It looks like this is maybe as far as she wants to go, which is exactly where she broke. She came right to where she broke right here. So this is like typical setup, right? So my stop loss, if you enter sales anywhere right here, your stop loss is like around here. Or you wait and see if we come up a little bit more. Place like pending orders here, sell limits. I want to just see if it makes like one last little push up before coming down. So that's why I'm waiting. Okay, now it's kind of setting up for a little bit of a jump. The reason why I'm waiting is because I want to make sure that this candle doesn't just close super high. Maybe potential rejection, because on the currency meter, there's nothing really favoring. Like the euro looks like it's a little favoring right now. We didn't have news till 11. A lot of news today. You're going to want to be out of the market for the morning and not trade till later. Like maybe not even till later on in Asian, because it's going to be crazy. But you can wait for the whatever the 10 a.m. push looks like. This news can help push it into that direction. This is going to be a big news day though for USD pairs. Huge. Super huge. I don't think usually is done either, because if this 4-hour closes above, let me look on the daily just to see where we touched already. Nothing really. Let's see. Because if this still closes above, that's still a pretty good sign that, depending on how strong it is. But here's where you want it to break. And we do have market structure on UJ. You can see how we have higher highs and higher lows. This is the area that price would come back to. This one being the max point where price would pull back to before continuing to go. But if it leaves off with candles like that and the currency meter is just so strong for the USD, then the USD Japanese is going right now. It might even be a better pair to look at just based off currency strength meter. Now, for this situation, what I'm really looking for is on EJ is for price to really close below that. The stronger it closes below this structure, the better off we are for a continuation of momentum. The higher we close, the more signs of rejection, maybe just more consolidation, less confirmation. At least for me, there's less confirmation. I think UJ is going to have a bit of a pullback before a launch. Unless it just finishes so strong. And if this currency meter just keeps holding. So we'll see. The euro is gaining more strength than the Japanese yen, so it's not really signifying bearish. But it could be doing that just for right now. Just doing fake outs coming up, right? Like this is my short positions here. I'll tell you when I take shorts. I'm waiting for the candle to close still. I don't want it to like just launch way up here and then I'm in shorts and then I just took a loss. Because it definitely made it too uncalm from here. But I think this can just be like a fake out. Just a fake out before the drop. Oh man, I don't feel good. Oh. This is exactly where I want price to be though for shorts. But I want it to close below this. That's not to say that it still won't go into the momentum. I just like it to close below. Just gives you more confirmation on how strong it is. But I'm not real confident on the currency meter right now. So UJ's dying down maybe. And we don't have any news. I mean, we have like yellow jacket news. Usually home sales are like orange. Oh, check this out. All day we have this. We just have this kind of news all day. $10 a.m. is going to be crazy. 10 a.m. is going to set up for all kinds of news because this is at 11. So now we're closing a little bit stronger. We have the 2-2 here. So this is the first 50 EMA tap after a cross. On those first 50 EMA taps after a cross, sometimes it will spark the reversal. So I just got 3 minutes left on the clock. first 50 EMA tap. Let's see how it handles. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Whew. But that's a good sign too. The smaller this closes, it's just signifying a new lower high to go down. If it closes like a little bit smaller than that, it'd actually be really nice. And that'd be a huge rejection on this. Beautiful setup. Okay, I'm looking to take shorts. I have my short positions in. My stop loss is kind of high. I'm not going to hold till that long, but yeah, that's really strong. See UJ closing above still. UJ still looks good. I don't usually like setups like that. Just I don't like long positions like at all. Is it a good one? I think it's still a really good one, especially because the US dollar was strong, right? It's probably even a better pair to trade as UJ just based off currency strength meter because it's just so strong. And there's the pullback right here for the launch. Even with how confident I am on it, I still won't take it just because it's long. I just don't like the long positions. And I don't like it when you look left and there's just nothing. But that's usually the times that price makes like really big pushes. So UJ still is pretty good pair to trade right now. Currency meter is extremely strong, which might not be the best favor for Euro. Euro drop Jeppy still has very strong momentum here. The currency meter is not helping it in any way. But if we continue to reject this area, that's a great sign for having like a. I don't want to see it making a bunch of higher highs and higher lows. I only have one entry right now. I'm just waiting, giving it a little bit of time. Since the currency strength meter is not really strong for either the euro or the Jappy, I believe it might just have it consolidate more. So that's why I only have one entry, and I'm just waiting for a little bit more confirmations before putting any more. Just because. So we have some time. I don't think that it's making its push right now because there's not a currency that's much stronger than the other. So we'll be able to get some more confirmation, which it's showing really good signs of confirmation. So as long as it just keeps rejecting this 14 EMA here, which is just the zone, just this whole zone, the more it rejects there, the better it is. Plus we have a 4-hour wick to go fill, and we're in between zones. We're going down to at least here. That should be a good area that price should go to. It's very strong. I shouldn't even be trading right now. I just don't. I feel so sick. I feel so tired too. The sickness like comes in waves. Like you'll feel good for one day, and then the next day you're just like, I'm down for the count. You guys should have heard me coughing before I got on Zoom. It was disgusting. I was trying to take a screenshot on my phone to send it to the group chat. But it looks bad because it has the double, and you can only turn it off on the computer, I think. So we don't have signs of bear structure on this time frame. We don't have like the lower lows and lower highs. I'm just going off of this being a drop. Now we're making a new base. We're coming back to the point where price broke for another drop. That's what I'm anticipating. The way that this looks, it's not like the best. Looks like we're just making higher highs and higher lows on the 5-minute. That's probably the fake out here. A little bit of a fake out. The 1 hour making a new lower high here. 30-minute made a lower high. Oh yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. I do like the way that 30-minute ended up closing. Very, very strong signs of rejection there. Look how strong the GVP got, like extremely strong. I'm not quite sure why as well. All my positions are in profit. But with some spread, it's not nice. Oh. We might depending on how strong this 15-minute candle closes, we might experience a little bit more consolidation where price might pull up, make some more lower highs. Now that we have this whole wick range, this might be like a whole area to make double tops, maybe triple tops. So now it's establishing like the new base, because now we have the drop. Now we have like the new base here. And so definitely anticipate more pullbacks, because it needs time to like really confirm. If it goes right now, it goes right now. If it doesn't go right now, then just anticipate pullbacks, and don't let it freak you out, because the momentum is still very strong. As you can see, we're already feeling the wick almost. And I only put my 3 positions, and I'm just at 3% profit so far. I didn't put too many. When I don't feel good and I'm a little under the weather or I'm just too tired, I usually don't increase my risk too much, because my brain's not really functioning properly right now. So I'm at 6 pips, 4 pips, and 3 pips, because I got one a little too late down here. But still 4%. If I get to if it does make like a nice drop and it just gets to my 10%, I'm gonna just run stop loss and profit for everything, and then I'm just gonna call it a day. But still, is a great trade. Oh, nice little drop. 5%. I'm at 5%, 5.5%, 6%, 6% profit, which is good. I'll take that all day long. So if it's confirming, right? Like, as you can see, like if this candle stays low and it's really confirming, then now you have this point that price broke. So now price can come back to here, right? So leave room for consolidation, because the next TP is going to be in this 5-2 range. So only a few pips away. That's where I'm really looking to close. I'm not looking to hold it for too much longer after that, because number one, I'm going to hit my 10% already just based off of that. Actually, it looks like it might be going even further. Just getting a little bit of screenshots here. I'm at 8% profit. I might close some of them, or I might just start moving stop loss in profit just to secure the bag. But as soon as we hit, the problem is as soon as I hit, okay, so one entry is at 10 pips, one's at 8.5, one's at 7. I want to see how it handles, because if we're still dropping, we're still dropping. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we do keep dropping, we're going into this whole wick range and even down to the bottom of here. It's very possible to go to 0.379. It is very possible. Depends on where this candle ends up closing. See what the 5-minute looks like. So the 5-minute looks like we might have a bit of rejection depending on how strong this candle closes, because if it closes like above, that could be a good spark. Maybe this is just the wick fill, because it is possible that price just is going to fill the wick and might reject. Let's see if the Japanese yen. Well, the euro is definitely much weaker now than the Japanese yen. So we're just gonna have to wait till it closes. Because of course, if it closes below this support, then you're golden. Because if anything, it just makes pullbacks before dropping. If it closes above this, that's not a good sign. I'm gonna just close all my positions right now. If it closes above, so I'm already back down to 4%. So we were at 8. We were at 8%, and then now we're at 2%. So that may have been a drop for a fake out, and maybe it wants to do something else. You know what I'm saying? It's very possible, because see how we just came down into this range. We're not making lower highs. It just dropped. So let's see where it closes, because if anything, it might be gaining. It might be gaining like strong liquidity to go bull. So let's see where it ends up closing in the next 1 minute. The stronger it closes below, the more signs of bearish activity, which means you can just leave your stop loss and your TP down here and just let it do its thing. As long as we close below that, the stronger we close below, the better it is. The more we close smaller, the more signs of rejection for a bit of a push. So okay, I like this, because you can see how it like drop and make like another lower high. It might just be another lower high just to tank again. So we just want price to close below that support. The euro, I really wish the Japanese yen was just extremely strong and took over. But that would mean that UJ might not be going where it wants to go. So when you're trading that currency meter, you got to be careful which way you look at things, because you might be trading just to counteract what your trend is. So you see how it's stronger, so that's good. So even if it pulls up a little bit, I'm not going to be too scared. Looks like it just keeps closing below. So that's a good sign that we're just going to keep going down. Even if we make a little bit of pullback, we might pull back here, 6-1, another 3 pips, 4 pips, just because that's where it broke again. You see how we broke it here again? So it's not a bad area for price to make a pullback to again. But with the strength of it being like this, it might just be going right now as well. Did we already tap a zone? We did kind of tap a minor zone over here. I just saw on my MetaTrader. You see over here? We did tap this zone. We actually closed right on it. I hate when price does that. You see how it closed right on it? But that doesn't necessarily mean anything on the lower time frame. That's just like an area. You see, that's an area where price just made a new higher low to go bull. So what if this is just making that, lower high? We're closing on that same area to go the opposite direction. So this is where I'm anticipating price to go, right around here in this whole range. Not based off the 1 hour, but based off the 4 hour. As soon as price gets into this whole zone area, if it gets into this zone area, it should, just based off price action and needing to really get to the zone, because before it even reverses, it'll need to probably come and touch the zone. So that's still, quite a few pips away. This is like a better momentum move. Just the price came much quicker. So that's typically how momentum trades should go. But not all the time do they happen right away. Sometimes they take a long time. As you can see, this happened right away, like right in the first 15-minute candle. And actually, as price pulled up, I said, this is where you want to take your sells. And so even in that whole range, still could have taken the sells. But just through waiting for the candle to close just kind of gave me a little bit more confirmation. I didn't necessarily anticipate price to drop right away. I maybe anticipated a little bit more rejection, and then a drop. So this is just, the luck of the day, knowing that this 4-hour time frame was so strong. We closed below this area with the wick to go fill. So it really gave you confirmation that, maybe we're going to go right now. But off the currency meter alone, didn't convince me that we were going to go right now. I thought we were going to consolidate a lot longer. So we just got a little bit lucky today with the momentum. Not lucky based off of analysis, but just lucky based off of how quickly price came. These types of moves here on these 4 hours, these are like pivotal times, because these can be times that it just keeps going for the rest of the week. This is why the 4 hour is so important, because you can see how we just hit this major resistance. Well, what if it takes us 2 days to get here? But you took shorts here. So you swung it from here all the way to here. This is why I trade the 4 hour time frames, because those 4 hour time frames are very pivotal in the market. This can very well be the spark of a new trend. Going bearish. Look how high we went. What if we come all the way down into this area? See what the 5 minute ended up looking. Looks good. I mean, this is not really a sign of reversal. It's just a sign of continuation of momentum. So the more that these candles kind of close, a little stronger bearish, I would say. But even with it closing like that kind of bearish, sometimes it'll trick you and you'll think it might reverse, but then it just drops. So there's no real confirmation on these types of candlesticks. They just kind of have their own mind. See, this looks like it wants to launch, because it's rejecting little. It looks like it wants to set up for a push to go bullish. But with the momentum being so strong, sometimes that can just fake you out. And then it'll just drop for its reason, whatever reason it has. It does what it wants. But it is... I wish I put more entries so that I could have closed, because I already had 10 pips on just one entry. Now I'm back at 7 for that same entry. Hey. Work it, tuck it. I can't believe I'm trading right now. I feel so sick. It's all right. If I can take 10%, I'll take 10% all day, baby. Let's see where she goes. This is if she doesn't just like drop, because the way that this is setting up, it's setting up like just a drop. And remember what I said earlier about like that first 50 EMA pullback? See how it just touched the 50 EMA? We had the cross. We had the first 50 EMA pullback, and then it just dropped. So that's very common. It happens all the time. I don't know if it's like a thing, but see the cross? We have a cross, first 50 EMA pullback, and look what it did. It launched, right? And this is on the 5 minute. It works the same on the 50 EMA on the 5 minute is the 14 EMA on the 15 minute. So you'll see it'll touch the 14 EMA. Well, it's a little bit more because the cross just happened. But the 14 EMA is the 50 EMA on the 5-minute. We see the cross, we touched the 50, and then it just, from that point, like it went up 11 pips. 13 pips, whatever. Same thing here. You can see from that 50 EMA, it's already over 10 pips. 14 pips just from touching that 50 EMA. So it's something I noticed over time. And when you trade that momentum, and it's like, okay, we're confirm on a direction, and then sometimes what I would do is I would wait for those pullbacks to those EMAs and just take. Sometimes it goes up higher too, like it'll just go up a little bit higher than the 50, but then it'll maybe start doing a reversal off of that 50 EMA, and then you just have to be careful because sometimes if it's changing trend, maybe it's just coming to make a new higher low if it's bearish, or a new lower high if it's, or lower low if it's or whatever, you know what I'm saying, depending on the trend. So like if we're hitting a support here and we're reversing, maybe it comes up to the 50 EMA and then it pulls back just to make a new higher low, but still off the 50 EMA it's still dropped. So it's almost still relevant, it's still current. So this is really choosing not to drop. We still have 5 minutes left on this. I'm dragging my TPs down. Oh, that looks really good. What is this? Is this? Oh, this is the 5 minute. Look, it looks like it just made a new lower high. Then it's just gonna tank. I gotta use the restroom, guys. So I'll be right back. If it comes down into my range, I'm just gonna close it from my phone. But I really gotta use the restroom. was looking at that from my phone. I didn't really like it too much. I need to see if we tapped the zone yet. I couldn't check on my phone. Because right, like as soon as we tap those, we haven't even tapped it yet. So it should be still fine. Just probably more consolidation. But something to take into consideration is the fact that we do have this Euro news like kind of all day. So at any time, price can just kind of be weird, you know? No, like it's looking like like my 8% was a lot nicer to take earlier just to get out of the market so I can just go rest. But I'll keep holding it. My risk to reward is very high right now because my stop loss is here. The chances of price coming here to this range before that range would be very, very scary. I do not see how it can do that because we haven't even touched the next zone yet. So we got to go to the next zone. I think it's just consolidating because that I don't like that at all. Like that doesn't look good. Not necessarily for a reversal, but just I don't like it. Let's see what UJ did. UJ's going. UJ was great to still trade. Look, right? You see it broke. We broke. We come pull back right to where price broke, and then we launch. That's really good buys were for UJ, as we were talking about. But I don't like trading like that, so. Higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low here, higher high, new higher low. We broke here. This is the pullback. We come back to the pullback, then we launch. I don't even know where UJ is going to stop, to be honest, because that's like kind of a huge sign of a push. I don't like that price is pulling back on EJ now. It's fine though. Yeah, look how strong EJ is. It's gone. She is gone. And you see how we had the structure, right? Because we had, of course, like a little 2-2 con from here. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Boom. It sparked it. And then, as you can see, we still had structure because we still had another higher high and a higher low. And then even before the candle opened, we had a new higher low. So all we did was pull back on that higher low before going. So price had structure on the 15-minute time frame. Price also had, oh look, that just made like a new higher low. That was good on the 1 hour. But the 4 hour is the strongest confirmation because we broke well above the resistance with a wick to go fill. I just don't know how far it'll go to. You got to look on a higher time frame. You can't even see it on the daily. You got to go to the weekly. And this is that whole 113 range, probably 113.30 that I talked about last night. It just wasn't ready yet. It made more of a pullback before the launch. But that's just price action because the daily candle closed above resistance here too. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but it's still going. You can see we broke above this resistance here with the wick to go fill. And where are we? We're in between zones. And now we're in between zones. That's where I got the 113 from 30 last night. Because see, we broke the resistance. Now we're in between zones left. Look left. We're in between. And this is the daily time frame too. This is a great daily setup. So that's looking really good for us on the 5-minute because it's like made a new, it still is like on a lower high, and it's kind of retested and rejected. So it's a pretty pivotal point still But this looks like this might be a drop, another base, and a drop, another DBD within a DBD. And you can see how we dropped here. This is probably, we're just, excuse me, just gaining some liquidity. Like, yeah, US dollar just gained full strength. It's just taking over. Now we broke above. Now this is maybe another pullback here before even continuing. Let's see what the 15-minute looks like. Well, the 5-minute still did it. So I would still say it's still safe because this is just like a little pullback for more confirmation before the launch. I'm pretty sure UJ is making another push right now. I'm pretty confident. It does need to reach that next zone. Can't see it. So EJ is working out well for us still. Granted, she actually drops and doesn't just consolidate. But you see how this pair, like, you see how it paid us so much quicker than all these other pairs? Like, when we're trading that AUD, USD, or whatever, I was like, dude, it's taking so long. Oh, now I'm at 11%. That's good. Don't keep rejecting. Just drop so I can satisfy my greed, man. If it just keeps rejecting like this, I might just close and then call it a day because I don't want to just sit here and get psyched out. This next 15-minute time frame is going to be very important, how it closes. If it was going to close like that, that's usually a sign of maybe just a huge push bull. So even if I don't get to my target, either I have to challenge my patience and actually just leave my stop loss where it is. If my stop loss is here, I would probably just move my stop. No, I don't even want to move it in profit because the chances of it getting hit in profit are much higher than if I actually leave room for price to consolidate. Let's just see in the next 6 minutes how this candle closes, because we still have a few minutes left on this clock for the hour. I'm just at 5% now. The 11% was much nicer when it was here. Much nicer. Let's see if it'll go back to the 11. This candle's got to keep closing stronger though, because if it closes too weak, then it might make a little bit of a pullback here. Come on. We got 40 seconds. I got to make a decision, huh? And this one still has 5 minutes left on the clock. See, the 1 minute must be making higher highs. And no, not really. See how the 5 closes. Close strong, man. Stop closing so weak. The weaker it closes like that is not, it's not pretty. Not pretty at all. So just be mindful of the news today. How much percentage do I have? 4? Nothing. Four 4% versus 11%. That 11% was much nicer. in the worst kind of way. I'm floating at around 6%, 4%. %6. We technically have to, like, did we touch this already? We didn't touch it. We got close. I don't know if that counts. You know, maybe it counts. Because that's what's important is when we at least touch zones. It's always important. You can't neglect those. You can't neglect those little tiny details. So we need this just to drop because this can be setting up to make some new higher lows, higher highs, maybe consolidate more. You got to take into consideration when you have a push like that, that's already money, right? Like if we sold right from the top, 17 pips is a lot. That's a lot of pips for price to move. And that was from selling it right there at that top. We would have been completely done. I wouldn't even be second guessing it. I'm just hoping, I just want price to keep going to that zone, but it didn't necessarily tap it. So that's what I was still holding for, is just at least to this wick range here. That's where my TP is at. So although it did get close to TP, and you should always just close once you get close to TP, I'm still anticipating a bit of a move. So otherwise, I just lucked out, and I am not going to close with as much profit as I would have wanted to. And I could have been done with the 11%. Now I'm only at 4.5%, which after spread, it's 3%. Now it's even less. Great. Let's see how we close, because we're going to want to make some retests maybe before we even go up. Because even if we have this price, we'll probably want to make some pullbacks to retest. Like if it hypothetically, like if we reverse off this point, price will want to make new higher highs and higher lows. So still don't get like too freaked out, because it'll still want to retest before, kind of like what it's doing here, right? But even for doing what it's doing here, it can just drop in the next candle. This can just be the new lower high, and it can just drop right now too. So this is where being that higher time frame confirm is always like extremely important. So that's looking a little bit worse, more like maybe another little higher low. That's actually looking better for us, because it's like showing a sign of weakness. Showing a bit of a sign of weakness for potential drop as well. So I'm just sticking to my higher time frame confirm. Let's see what the 15 look like. So not really too scary. More like another just lower high. I feel like I swing it right now because I already had my percentage and I didn't close. Oh, I'm tired. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm just going to be a little bit more patient because I'm going to anticipate price still coming down. And let's see how this hour closes because we still have 13 minutes left on the hour. And you see, this is why I always tell you guys that I like 10 pips because I'm generally a scalper, right? So for me, once you hit that 10 pip mark, it's really weird what price does afterwards, right? Like you have 10, and then even it went a little further to 12, but then you see how it just reversed after, and it went from 10 to 5 real quick. So a lot of the times you might hit that zone and it's only 10 pips away, then reverse. So it's when I've been scalping for so long, I got to the point where I just said, once you hit that 10 pip mark, like just close down, right? And then I said, well, if you only put one entry and you close at 10 pips, then what if it keeps going? So that's where I started stacking more entries and then going a little bit heavier on margin and then closing more positions early to secure my, like right now I only have 3 entries. If I put 5 entries, I could have closed 3 when I went to 10%. Or remember when I was at 11, and that could have been maybe 16 or 17 or 20%. So I would have closed the 3 to secure the 10%, and then you just leave stop loss and profit, and whatever happens, happens. But you've already secured your 10% for the day. So that's where those 10 pips really come in. So it's not doing a whole lot of what I like if it doesn't just drop. Um, it's looking like it wants to play a little bit of games. And it probably has a lot to do with that news as well, because it says all day. So the characteristics that it's looking like it's doing is it might be starting to make some new higher highs and higher lows. See how it's rejecting the downside? Not a good sign for a push, bearish. Even though we already had this big drop this morning, right? That's a big drop. People underestimate the power of like 17 pips. Like that is incredible. That's so many pips. That's a lot of percentage right there. That would have been 31% with just 3 of my entries on my margin right now. 31% for 17 pips. Like if I would have reacted quicker and just stacked my sells right there, and then I hit 17, I'd be 100% done at 30%. That would have been a big payday. But now my greed is kicking in a little bit, and I'm wanting to hold till the next zone when hypothetically I should have been done at 11%, just close everything down, go back to sleep. But let's see what happens. Let's see if we make another lower high. Maybe we drop some more. If we end up coming up in past my, entries and stuff, I'd be pretty pissed off. I hate winning and then taking a loss. That's like the worst. Those are the worst trades you can ever have. and I don't want to put my stop loss in profit only because I'm only 6 and 4 and 3 pips away that I'm afraid of it hitting it on a liquidity grab and dropping. So it only makes sense just to leave the stop loss and then leave the TP and let's see how things go. UJ made a huge rejection, eh? Looks like EJ is making a huge rejection too. I'm not liking it. I'm really not liking it. I really wonder how high it'll go. What's the currency meter doing? The euro and the Jappy are not really doing anything. We still got 7 minutes on this hour. Wow. Well, there goes all my percentage. I'm at 2% now. Now I have 0%. I've got 0% profit at this moment. It's a break even. Oh, 1%. I got 1%. Now I'm in negative. Actually, no, not negative. I'm at not even 1%. It's just straight break even. See, that's the bullshit about Forex sometimes, is your greed, right? Like that was already a drop that I should have just taken. So if it pulls down just a little bit after this push, I'm gonna because it's probably gonna want to make some new. If it's not rejecting just to go down some more, like this might just be liquidity, you know. So we'll see how this 6 minutes close, because after the 6 minutes close, it's the new hour. So I'll be very curious to see how the hour actually closes. Because if we close really strong, it's good to continue. If we close kind of weak like that, I might just get out of my entries and just, just walk away and just take. Because I'm still at that 3%, and then if I take the 3%, it's good. But I do believe that this might just be some liquidity. So let's not jump the gun too quick. And look, the Jappy gained more strength. That's good for us. The Jappy gained more strength. It's much stronger than the euro now. It's good that it's gaining any strength, because it's gaining any strength. That's good for us, because then at least it's telling us that maybe it's going to start gaining more strength. So as soon as it starts gaining a little bit, that could be a really good sign. At least I'm back at 5%. I liked it better when it was rejecting more. There we go. Come on, close small. Oh yeah, that's not good. I might just close out. Just by looking at the way that this is setting up, I mean, it's just making new higher highs and higher lows. Like maybe just more consolidation. Look at where the 1 hour is closing. I mean, we still got 1 minute, so let's wait for the 1 minute because it's always when the candle closes. Like see how it was psyching the shit out of me. Like it was psyching me out, like we're going up. But then right at that last second, that's why always waiting for the candle to close. It's so important. Because it's not until it closes that you have the confirmation, the real confirmation. But this doesn't look good. Like I still don't like the way that this looks because it looks like we're making a new higher low to go up. So I'd be very curious to see how it closes. Look at UJ. Look how UJ just came right back up. There seems to be a little bit of a lot of liquidity in the market right now. Jabby didn't hold. The 1 hour's got 51 seconds. I do like how strong it is. It is pretty strong. It left us with a little bit of liquidity. I honestly would like to see it close below this. Just looking left, and you can just see this whole, like, just this zone, this candlestick here, these few candlesticks. I would like to see this close below that, just because that's just signifying if we're just breaking all kinds of other structure, that it's just stronger. See, like now it broke. It's kind of, no, now it's not. That's definitely not breaking. So let's see. Let's see, those last few seconds always matter. So that's ugly, like super, super ugly, that I just am not a fan of at all. Now that, I mean, well, I don't know what to say, to be honest. I might just leave my stop loss and allow it to consolidate a little bit. Because the 1 hour, look how the 1 hour closed. It could just come up for more consolidation. It might just not be ready to go yet. That's the problem. And I wasn't satisfied with earlier. So, but I'm going to anticipate price still wanting to come down to make more higher lows before wanting to go up. So that's where I'm going to try to capitalize on the push. So, wow, UJ launch. Yeah, I just went. That's really upsetting me right now, though. Going from winning a trade to losing a trade is not good. I'm just hoping for a rejection now. Just maybe more consolidation, because it still is going to want to make it still is going to potentially want to make some more higher lows. So I still believe it's going to want to drop again. Like if it wants to go up, it's probably going to want to come down to retest, because now it's just going to be psyching out traders, if anything. But even with the way that this looks, because I've seen this setup so much, we still have a lower high, right? So sometimes it comes up into that whole range again, and then it just drops, and it takes several hours because the close of London session is in an hour. So you're going to have like that pre-push. This might be like a pre-push for the close of the candle. Very common. Very common. The Japanese not gaining strength. It's not doing a whole lot for us. There's a lot of liquidity in the market right now, as you can see, because price is making some nice fluctuations. So we have to just see. If I only take 3%, I'll just take 3%, because right now I'm still at 3%. So now I'm at 2%. It keeps fluctuating pretty hard. I want to see a big drop right now. Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. Maybe we hit like a low resistance and we can make some lower lows and lower highs now. We made a ton of higher highs and higher lows there. I think it's just a bit of a fake out, because the momentum is so strong to the bearish side that it would be pretty strange to reverse off of nothing without even touching this. Like we came into this whole range, but without actually touching it, that just makes me feel very strange. Let's see. So I'm back at 4% at least. 4% is nice. It's better than no percent, I'll tell you that much. Just go EJ, just drop. Get over with. A bigger drop. How frustrating. We shouldn't have ignored those signs. Let's see if it. I'm still gonna wait, because I still believe it'll make pullback before it goes up. So if it'll still give me a chance to take a percentage, I'll still take a percentage rather than taking a loss. Because right now I'm at exactly like break even. This is why the 10 pip rule is so important, guys. You catch 10 pips and just take your money and run. Never guaranteed anything in this market. That was my bad. I should have just closed most of my entry. Just left one. Let's see what the currency meter is going to do. See, now the euro is gaining a little bit more strength. Not a very good sign. I still want to see it pull down. I'm hoping that it'll still make a pullback. Because all my entries are just, it's right at my entries, like legit. Like it's legit all right at the entries right here. So if we do make like a bit of a pullback, it's very good for us. Because this can still be a fake out. It can still be faking us out, and it's just not ready to drop entirely yet. So it's just a patience thing. It's more or less just leaving your stop loss and take profit and then just letting the chart do its thing, like I always tell you guys. So now I'm back at 1%, but with spread, it's like, actually spread is very low right now. It's not even 1 pip. It's beautiful. The spread is so low right now. I'm back at 2%. That could be good too. Some rejection here. Boom, boom. More pullbacks. I still think it's a good trade. I still think that it has the potential to go down. I just don't like this rejection that it's doing. It's not doing anybody any favors right now. I'll tell you that much. No, you're going the wrong way. Don't go up. Yeah, go down, go down. Don't go down. I'm watching the 1 minute on my MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 right now. I'm just watching how it's making these higher highs and higher lows, and it's really pissing me off. I'm hoping it'll just come back down into this range, and then I might just look in the close. Well, that looks pretty good. Let's see if it holds with that rejection like that. It's not so bad. Back at 2%. Looks good on the 5 minute because of this whole rejection here. It looks really, really good. Rejection, bit of a drop. This might be a little bit more of a fake out. You still have time in this whole range. Maybe it is going to come back down into this range. Let's see. Let's watch this currency meter. Make sure that euro is not gaining an incredible amount of strength out of nowhere because of news. See, it's starting to go back. Now back at 5%, which is a lot better. This is what I was saying about, even if we're reversing hypothetically, price still is going to want to make pullbacks before going up. So you can still, it's almost like price is giving you one last chance, right? Like you're almost getting like another chance to get out. Like right now, I have an opportunity of walking away with just 5% for the day and just calling it a day. This might be like my last chance, or it might just be going into the momentum that we've already anticipated from the beginning. So even from here, making a new lower high, coming back down into that momentum. But these are just the things that, when you trade, you experience psychologically, right? Like I'm at 6% again, and 6% is 6%. That's a lot of money. Come on. We have 2 minutes left. So the stronger this closes, even if it closes like that, it actually makes me feel good because it's right on that support. Yeah, sometimes that gets weird. It looks like it wants to go. Which means that the Japanese yen might be gaining strength. Or UJ's coming down for a fake out. Because look how strong that US dollar still is. Oh, this is really good. This is really good for us. Yeah, I'm back at my 7%. That's much nicer. Keep dropping, you fool. If UJ's going down too, it's making me feel like the Japanese yen is maybe gaining some strength because it's even pulling UJ down, right? Because we have EJ and UJ here. So it's making me feel like maybe this currency meter, you see the Japanese yen, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe the Japanese yen is gaining a little bit more strength because it's pulling both pairs. And now the currency meter is just lagging to load it because there's a delay, obviously. Which is good for us. This is good. This is really good for us because I'm thinking that it might be a bigger move, and it just took some time because that euro market is closing in an hour, so 45 minutes. So this, I believe, this is the pre-push. I think it's going to probably make a pre-push and then maybe reverse. So I'm looking to close. If we actually get to this yellow zone, I'm 100% out. Like if we even get down a little bit further, I might just call it out too, just to take my percentage and run. Because this news is kind of like making me feel nervous for the day. But this is the whole, at least into this range. This is a good profit target in this whole range. So let's see how this candle closes. This is really good though. It's closing really nice. I want it to close below, right? We want it to close below. That's just confirming strength. Oh yeah, look at how UJ is going down. If UJ is going down, it's not that it has a correlation with EJ, but it's just telling me that that Japanese yen might be really strong. So you see how we close below? There should be a push now. Maybe more liquidity. If no more liquidity, it's just going. Because you can see how now it looks like we're also maybe making like that double top. Remember, I talked about that earlier. Seeing price coming up to maybe make like a double or triple top, and that based off of this wick. That's exactly what it did, right? It came right back up to the wick, and then it dropped right back down. We might come up here and drop back down. We are confirming trend. As of right now, we are confirming bearish momentum because now we have lower low and lower high. Lower low, lower high. More lower lows, more lower highs. You can see now we have market structure. Now the market has structure going into the push. Is that on my T? Where's my TP at? I have TP at 4.6. That's 4.7. Still 10, like another 10 pips away there. The Japanese yen is still stronger than the euro. So even if we're making a little bit of pullbacks right now, I think that can be okay. Even though I've seen these types of setups like too many times, and I've never really practiced it enough to understand. But sometimes I feel like price comes down and grabs premium price, and then it can maybe reverse. And then now, but I think that our momentum is too strong with this to even think about reversals yet. This is just taking a little bit longer to get to the TP, which I'm already at 7%. So it's not like I can't close and take a lot of money. But it's It's more worth putting your stop loss and then your take profit and then just kind of letting it do its thing. So let's see. The Japanese yen lost a little bit of strength. I'm noticing how that UJ is playing out, and UJ is making huge rejection here. So if the US dollar was that strong, and then now UJ is pulling back pretty heavy, I think we might be, that the Japanese yen might be, it's having a little bit of lag maybe on the meter, but it looks like it might be wanting to take over because UJ had huge anticipation for hitting that 113.3 area, but see, it's just in this range. It's just not really ready. And we do have news in a few hours for UJ. And there's already huge potential for taking scalps this morning. Oh, it's not that many pips. Still was a huge potential. She just might not be ready yet. EJ, on the other hand, I really hope is ready. She seems like she's ready. As long as it actually just breaks. We need it just to break, like boom. Just to really confirm the trend here. Let me check my currency meter again. Nope. No significant strength over the other. Maybe there's just a delay. Well, close no wick. Sometimes I don't like when price closes no wick, but that can just signify that we're just dropping now. It's just confirming. Put my MT5 right now and see what I'm at. I'm back at 8%. That's good. I'm at nearly 9 pips for the first entry. Nope, back down to 8 pips. Making a little bit of a pullback here. When price closes no wick like that, that usually I don't usually like it. But if we're on a resistance or a support like this and it closes no wick, maybe it's just signifying that we are going down, and it's telling us that we just are going down because we closed well below the support. So this can just be just a little bit more liquidity because it's already confirming that we're going down just by how strong the 5-minute broke below too. This closing's like liquidity here, and then it just kind of barely engulfed over this previous candle. Maybe just a little bit more liquidity. At least I'm hoping. I'm just hoping for it to drop. I never like when price closes no wick. like that. I hate when price closes no wick like that. But let's just give it some more time. I'm hoping that within the next 15, maybe 20 minutes or so, I can just be done. I'm kind of overstaying in this trade already. Too long for me. An hour and a half, too long. Especially if it's pulling some stunts like this. Not into it. Well, we do have 7 minutes left on this. So I'd like to, even if it closes with like a lower high, it's still good for a drop. Like if it was going to close just like that right now, it would just tank. Boom. Just making that new lower high drop. So the next 7 minutes will be important. Let's see what happens. Oh, back to 5%. Let's check out this 30-minute. Big rejection. See how price closed no wick and it just, see how it just does these dumb things? I hate when price closes no wick. It just can mean a sign of exhaustion, can mean just continuation. It just, there's no set rule on what it means, but I hate it when it closes no wick because as you can see, 55. It's like a 4 pip difference from closing no whip and it goes up 4 pips. Well, those 4 pips is a heavy percentage that I had. See, now I'm back to 4% profit. Even from the 8, the 8% was much nicer than the 4. I'm really hoping it's just grabbing some more liquidity here. It's pulling up pretty high, huh? Well, it's pulled back down. Oh, wow, it went all the way up to one of my entries almost. Let's go, EJ. Just drop. Wow. What a rejection, huh? That's why I hate price close and no wick, man. I'm telling you, when price closes no wick, it just does these stupid things that just really pisses me off. We still got 2 minutes left, though. The 2 minutes can close real rejected. More drop. Let's see. I'm back to 3%, 2% now. 3%. I'll still take 3% over taking a loss. Even 2%. I'll take 2%. I wish I was back at my 8% now again. See, remember what I was saying earlier, where it sometimes price like gives you another chance, right? That was like another chance. Price dropping. Price always kind of gives you like one last chance. And sometimes either you can recognize it or you can't recognize it. Let's see if EJ is going to favor him. We got 1 second, 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't really like that it's doing that. I don't know if it's going to be so forgiving and keep coming back down. Well, now I'm at break even again, so that's pretty bullshit. Now I'm actually at negative 1%. So if it comes down again, I'm just gonna close out and I'm done. I'm done with the mind games. I'm over it. I missed out on my 11% for the day, and we have to be mindful of that news that is all day long. So price can just do things that you don't really understand why it did it, and that's just they might be having some meeting right now in Germany or in some country, and we don't really necessarily know about it. So if we do make another pullback down into at least 1 or 2%, maybe 3%, I'm just gonna get out. Just get off the webinar because I'm just obviously there's just a lot of fake outs going on right now. So right now I'm at pretty much break even. it just really didn't want to go to. Really didn't want to push all the way right now. I was really anticipating that drop, and I was getting a little bit on the greedy side. Because if we do get a bunch of rejection here, we might go up to that high side. So I was really anticipating price at least coming down here, at least touching this zone. But it got really close to it. Maybe, maybe price is counting that. I don't know. Price does whatever it wants. So we already were right on the momentum drop, which we already caught. This was still, we knew that it was still coming down, but is it going further? You never really know. That's just Forex. So I want to see if it'll pull back down so I can get out at least in like 1 or 2%, at least closing in with profit for the day and not just break even. Because I've already lost a little bit of money because of once you put an entry in, you're already given, spread to the brokerage. So now I'm back at 1%, 2%. It's hard for me to make a call right now because the greed inside wants to hold. I want to still hold. Like, I want to believe in it, But then the other side is like, just secure the profit, walk away. You think it's in one? So I was just at 2% and I should have closed it. Let's see if it pulls down again. Part of me wants to just keep holding. I know, when in doubt, that's always so smart. When in doubt, just take your money. But now I'm just being greedy because I'm just like, 11% versus 2%. 1% or 11% was much freaking nicer. I don't know if I'm going to get another opportunity. If I don't just... Let's see what happens here. Currency strength meter is not doing anything. I thought that by the Japanese yen earlier, maybe gaining some strength. Maybe it was going to do something, but it's not. So I'm at legit, like, small break. I'm at break even right now. I'm still at break even. I should have closed at 2%, huh? Let's see if we just make one more little pullback here. Even down just into this range, 2-3 pips. If it goes down those 2-3 pips, it'll... Oh, that's nasty. Confirmations right now are really nasty. I don't have a huge loss, but now I'm at a 2%. I might take a 2% loss. I'm being too greedy right now. So it looks like it rejected a little bit. Come on, just pull back down. Give me 1 or 2%. Give me 1 or 2, and I'll take it for the third time. Look how many times we had. Like, look how many opportunities we had. Right? We dropped, opportunity to close, and some of you did because some of you sent me screenshots. But then it comes up again, and look, it gives you another chance. There's a second chance to get out. Price always wants to just give you like another chance. It's really weird how price works. Give you those few chances. Play with your mind some more. And in this case, it gave us 2 chances to just get out and take our money and be satisfied with 5 or 6 or 7%, 8%. If I had more entries, it would have been a significantly larger number. So maybe I would have been more satisfied. So that's why I like putting 5 entries. I'm a -1%. Let's see. 1%. I like what it's kind of doing though here. It looks like it might be, I think it's going to want to make a pullback before going up still. I think it's still going to want to make an even more higher lows, because if hypothetically, if we are rejecting, I am going to anticipate price make, because we don't have any higher lows right now. All we have is a lower low. We have no higher low. As you can see, we're at the highest high now. So if we reject and keep going, we have to make some new higher lows. Where that higher low comes beats me. All I'm doing is praying. I'm just hoping at this point. I'm already beating myself up for just not taking some profits earlier, because profit's profit. And I wanted more, so I was being greedy. Come on, make a pullback, man. Just come down to here, like 6-1. Just come down to 6-1. Come down to 6-1. Come on. Just come to 6-1. I'll take 6-1. Wow, 3%. I don't like losing 3%. Yeah, that's not looking good. I still believe it's going to want to make a pullback, but I put a bigger investor account today, so that's why I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of money. Ooh, 4%, that's a lot of money. 5%, that's a shitload of money. Come on. Now we're changing structure, but I'm hoping for the pullback still. That's what I'm still waiting for. I'm still waiting for, because now if we are breaking structure, we still need to make pullbacks to make new higher lows before continuing. So if it ends up coming down, which it is, oh damn, who's stealing cars, bro? Oh fuck! I didn't even realize that I was just making a jump. So now my emotions are just kind of like going through me because now I might be taking a 5% loss for the day, and that's big for me. That's a big loss. So I just made a much larger investor account last night just to make some more money. So of course, the one day that I put the most money into an investor account, I might take a loss after being an 11% profit. Go figure, right? Welcome to Forex. So let's see if we still pull down. Let's see. I don't want to just stay in a losing trade, you know, because then if it just keeps going, then it just keeps going. But man, 5% is huge. Man, 6% now, shit. I'm still hoping for a pullback. I'm still hoping that it might pull back. I might ride out just a little bit. %6 loss. Haven't taken a loss in a week and a half. Oh, 7%. Damn. Going from 11% to 7% sucks. And then back down to 8%, now at a negative 6%. That is just like the epitome of stupidity. Like, what are you thinking, Kyle? Just take your money. Just take your money. Now I'm at negative 9%. Now price did close no wick. So maybe we're going to have the same forgiveness. You see how this is? This is what I'm talking about when price closes no wick. Like, we confirmed bearish trend, but look, all we did was grab like premium price in reverse. Like, why did it reverse? There was no signs of price reversing at all. No signs at all. So that, I would have to say, that has a lot to do with today's news being all day. And price is going to just be doing things that are irregular. But you see how price closed no wick? And then, like, it completely reversed from no wick. It went 10 pips from no wick. 15 pips from no wick. You see that? That's why when you're looking at like these little technical things on these smaller time frames, like, man, I always have a thing when price closes no wick, where it's like it'll challenge your emotions. But now price closed no wick here, so now I'm hoping that maybe we have the same thing. Maybe we have the same drop. Maybe this is grabbing more premium price. Let's see what time it is, or wow, the 1 hour looks absolutely terrible for anything sell related. And all we did was fill the wick and reject, but we still filled the wick. So that's important to know. We still filled the wick because price still had the momentum. We still had the drop, the base, and then another drop. So let's see if we can truck on back down into this range. Since this is the point that price broke, since we broke here, now this is technically a nice area that price can come back to change if it's changing structure. So now I'm really just staying in the trade too long in a loss when I should have got out when I said I was going to get out at 1 or 2%, and I hit the 1 or 2%, but I didn't do what I said I was going to do. So that's on me. So now I'm hoping that price will come back down into this whole range where it just broke, and that'll get closer to my entry. So it'll get me still closer to break even, or maybe even if it went a little lower, maybe I could get a percentage out of it. But just based off of what these candles are doing, it needs to really drop like really soon. Because if it doesn't drop really soon, it's changing structures to go bull. And then after this next 1 hour candle closes, it might be changing the structure just to go bull. So it is what it is. There we go. Pull down. Make a little pullback. At least get past my entries. Come on. The currency meter wasn't really helping today. Like the Japanese yen has no strength now. Just zero strength. So now I'm getting much closer to my entries at least. Let's see if it'll go down. Now I'm on one of my entries. Come on, just keep pulling. Keep pulling. How much time do we have on this thing? Keep pulling down. Keep pulling down. Come on, keep pulling down. There we go. There we go. No. Keep, there we go. There we go. Keep pulling down. I feel like it wants to go, but maybe it's just hitting this to reverse, because this is where it broke, right? So this is where you got to be careful now that if we're changing structure, this is where it can change to go bull, because we just broke that. We got really close to my entry. I just thought it was going to keep going. Let me see if it keeps going. Just give it some time, because it closed no wick, so maybe it's a good sign of some other kind of exhaustion there. Come on. Come on. And then after I get out of my entries, I'm going to close it down because I'm just over it. Maybe I got to see if I got, I don't like that. Maybe new high or low for a push, because the currency meter now, the Japanese yen has no strength. So it's lost strength. The euro doesn't have any strength, but the yen still lost strength. So for it to continue bearish is not necessarily like a good sign. Although maybe this still could be like a one last kind of liquidity too. It still has potential to go bearish. This is still where price broke, so it might still be coming here. It might consolidate a little bit longer before coming down. There's still a lot of possibilities. But the only thing I'm thinking about is that I'm actually losing this trade. So there we go. There we go. Keep pulling down. Keep pulling down. Come on. Come on. It looks like UJ is going to drop too today, because you can see how we're making lower lows and lower highs now. And we have that news coming up soon. Might be a good opportunity for price to just reject completely, because we have tons of red jacket news for USD. Tons of it starting at 11. Tons. So stay out of the US dollar at that time. But it does appear to be that just based off of like this lower time frame, it's only the 5 minute, but you can see lower lows, lower highs here. Oh, that was the 15. So the 15 minutes making like almost a triple top, and it's making lower low and lower high, which is signifying that potential reversal zone might be rejecting. And if this closes like below here, it probably will continue into momentum bearish. Come on, EJ. Come on, close strong. I need you to close strong. In this next 2 minutes, I really need it to close much stronger than it is. Because if it's closing with a lot of rejection like that, it might be going up. I'm just going to close. I'm not going to switch into buys because I don't like to do that. I just will accept the loss and just move on. It's no big deal. That was my fault for not closing while I was in profit. And I had two times. First drop, second drop. 2 opportunities to get out. But I wanted to hold till here. So the 10 pip rule always works. Just take your 10 and get out. Leave the rest. Stop loss and profit. Come on, man. Just drop. Okay, we got a minute. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't look so promising. It looks like we're just gaining liquidity to continue going bull, to be like 100% honest. Price, I actually moved my stop loss just to above here just in case. So it might actually just hit my stop loss and take me out. Yep, yeah, I'm out. Stop loss got hit. Wow. That was actually 10% loss. So I unfortunately took a 10% hit. So I took a little bit of a hit right there. It is what it is. So that was the trade today, guys. Sorry about that. I'm thankful for the ones that actually took profit when they should have. That was good. So anyways, I might see what's going on for 10 a.m. and I'll see you guys on the next one.